Hi, my name is Sophie Summers and this is the Crossdressing Lifestyle channel, and welcome to the second part in our corset review series. In part one we had a look at overbust corsets, and today we're going to be focusing on these wonderful designs here of underbust and waist training corsets. I've actually got 7 beautiful corsets here to have a look at. All of them are from the Corset Story UK range, and thank you very much guys for sending them across for us to have a review of. I'm going to be slipping on each and every one of these designs for you good people to have a look at. I'll be really interested in your views and comments, which you can please pop down below, particularly on which one of the designs is going to be your favourite one. So without further ado, let's move on to the first corset we're going to be reviewing today.
But nothing ever stopped me from dusting off my shoes. You might think you'll see me falling to the ground, but I threw up my umbrella when rain stops hitting down. Yeah! On a bad day, on a good day, I don't need no sunshine, 'cause I'm dancing with the rain. You will see me running, thinking I might be insane. I don't need no sunshine.
So that's a little look at today's first corset, which is this one here, and this is a black burlesque underbust corset with bullet hip gorse, which means this particular section of the corset here. As you can see, it's got a lovely individual sort of shape to a cone shape that sits lovely over your hips, giving you that much sought after hourglass figure appearance of it. Now this is described as a waist shaping stroke training stroke reducing corset, which means it's very robust, and it's designed to reduce your waist to as much as 4 inches. It's properly manufactured, and when I say properly manufactured, like all the corsets we're going to be looking at today, they've got the steel boning inside of them and the front metal buskin clasp here, so you know it's well crafted. It's made 11.5 inches along the front area here, which gives you an indication of how deep it will sit on your body. It sits very nicely in towards my sort of groin area, so even when I'm sitting down it doesn't dig in, which a lot of the underbust corsets have a tendency to do, is dig in right into the groin area and can be quite uncomfortable. The additional thing I like about this particular corset is it has on the bottom section here 6 individual loops, which allows you to fit in suspender clasps in there, so you can quite freely wear this one with tights or with stockings, so I quite like that capability there. Comes in a black colour, and it's available between, I think it's a 20-inch and a 38-inch waist. Now, as with all the corsets I'm going to be reviewing, you will find individual links down below should you wish to find out a little bit more about it, and obviously I've got various bits and pieces listed on the screen, so you've got all the features and benefits of them. So let's move on to the second one. So that's the full length of black and burgundy steampunk design corset. It measures 12 inches from the front panel section here, so that gives you an idea of the length of the corset. Again, it is a sort of durable waist training reducing corset, saying it's about 4-inch reduction you can get with this, so it's quite a sturdy design in it. I do like this little bit of detail here, which is the sort of riveted area there. As with the previous corset, it has 6 loops on it, so you can wear it with your favourite stockings should you wish to do so. It fits very nicely against the figure, so I think you could wear this quite nicely under some sort of tailored clothing. It wouldn't be too visible at all. It comes in a wide range of sizes from a 20 to a 36 or a 38 inch waist. So it's for the ladies with a slightly more voluptuous figure, it's a nice little option to have. I think it's quite an eye-catching design. So let's now move on to one of the more popular white underbust corsets and see what that looks like on. So this is one of my personal favourites out of the ones we're going to be reviewing today. This is a full length waist taming corset in white. It measures 12 inches in length from the top of the bust to the bottom of the bust there. So that gives you an idea of how it would sit on your particular body. It sits very, very nicely in the groin area on me, and it gives a very good sort of hourglass figure because it is really a waist taming corset. Its reduction is around about 4 inches if you really put on it, and I really do value the back modesty panel here because I can really pull this one up with these laces. I really do like this particular corset. I like them all. They've got a suspender loops in them. Again, I think there are many. There are 6 in this one, so you can attach your favourite stockings to them should you wish to wear them. So that's probably the one that's made more appearances in any of my videos than any of the others at the moment. But let's move on to a slightly different and more colourful corset. So let's see what that looks like. So if you're really into your corsets, then this one may be of interest to you because it is actually a tight lacing corset. It's advertised as being able to reduce your waist by up to 5 inches, and you can actually feel the weight difference in this particular corset. It seems to be that much more robust and heavier made with much thicker boning inside it and springs. It's a turquoise colour with some flossing detail all around it, so it's quite pretty and it's aesthetically very, very pleasing. It measures the standard 12 inches along the front bust area here, and I actually love this corset. You could really wind it in, and it's also got a nice bit of detail with the actual ribbons on here. I've reviewed these type of ribbons before. They look frail, but actually they're really, really strong, and you really can put a lot of purchase on them with your elbows to get this corset in really, really tight to achieve some really sassy curves. And again, on this model, you've got an option of putting some suspender loops on here if you wish to, so you can have 6 drops on this for your favourite stockings. I really do like this particular corset. I love the detail on it. I like the way that you can really wind it up nice and tight and get some great eye-popping curves. I must admit, I really did wind this one up to the extent I found it quite difficult to breathe at the end, but I think the results were worth it. So let's move on to the next exciting style. So this is, or that was, the Denim Cotton Expert Waist Training Waspy. Now it's a waspy because it only measures 8.5 inches along the front bust area here, and it's really designed to concentrate on the core part of your torso to make sure you can really pull it in very, very tightly to get that lovely exaggerated hourglass figure. Now it's called an expert sort of waist training waspy because it is actually designed to enable you to be able to reduce your waist by as much as 5 inches, and I can really wind this one up to get quite a drastic amount of curves, hopefully, as you saw in the previous little clip there. Now it's also got the usual 6 wide loops along the hem seam here, so you can, if you wish, attach your suspender clasps. Of course, it has the mandatory, yes, you've guessed it, modesty panel on the back to stop you getting all those friction burns when you do have to really wind it up. I really do like this corset a lot, so much so that I have a tendency to wear it outside on a pair of jeans or trousers or a short skirt, should the weather be so inclined. So that really concludes this particular design. Let's move on to the next one in the collection. So that was the very seductive black mesh waist taming corset. Now all of the underbust corsets we've reviewed so far do have the built-in loops or suspender loops in them, but this one comes with these very sassy long suspenders here. So they're very, as you can see, very adjustable, and I thought they were a very nice touch. So you can wear it with the suspenders attached, or you can undo the loops inside here to take the suspenders off, which I'm going to do. So they come individually like this, but it's all wrapped together when you get them. Now it's a beautiful corset, and I quite like the mesh approach. It's a little bit seductive, I would have thought. Give me a great shape. It's a stunning little design, this one, again with lace at the back here. And again, it's very, very strong and very, very durable. I quite like this corset. It's designed to give you a waist reduction of approximately about 4 inches, and I thought it sit really lovely on the hips, and I quite like this little red touch here on the suspended drop. So without further ado, let's move on to the next corset. And sadly, that's the last of the underbust corsets we're going to be reviewing today. That's this black and grey checked waspy, which has some nice little features about it, I think. I do like the PVC added bits here for a little bit of I don't know, a different approach. It's got PVC along the boning sort of area, along the front bust, and also the whole of the modesty panel is PVC coated as well. So I think that's quite a nice little touch. It's a waspy, so it's not really designed for major waist reduction, but it still gives you quite a nice pinch in, I think you'll agree. Slightly different with this one, it's got four smaller loops on this one here, which I think you can use narrow suspender drops should you wish to attach it and wear this waspy with your stockings. So that is it, as I say today. All that really remains to say is if you haven't already subscribed, please do consider doing so. Like and share, that will make us very, very happy here. And finally, as always, stay safe and stay gorgeous. Until the next time, bye-bye.